What's up, everybody? It's Blanche. How are you guys? I thought I'd come back for another intermittent fasting episode. You guys, if whoever's joining on, give me a thumbs up if you are watching this so that I know that there are people on the other end. I know that my show is called Feast in the Middle East, but I'm really thinking of expanding this brand just because I have so much nutritional knowledge from studying nutrition for many years and being a fitness instructor for many years. So I want to share this knowledge with people. And so don't worry, the ones that always follow, thank you for the thumbs up, guys. The ones that always follow my show, I will continue to do recipes. I will continue to put up recipes. I have so many incredible recipes down the pike. It's just that we are in production mode. As a matter of fact, I'm still shooting a few episodes tomorrow. So I have some amazing recipes that I'm going to be sharing with you. It's just that I also wanted to use this channel as a platform to help people that are struggling because, diabetes runs deep in my family, and I've talked to many of you that say that you have diabetes in your families as well, or you're struggling with weight problems and you don't know why, and you want to enjoy life and enjoy food, and so do I. And I don't see why we can't enjoy life and enjoy food while maintaining weight loss. So intermittent fasting has been a life-changing lifestyle for me. It's amazing. And it was the only thing that really worked in terms of something that is flexible, something that is very simple, and something that allows me to enjoy my life and enjoy all kinds of food with moderation, of course. So what I'm going to discuss in this segment is the top 5 mistakes that people make while intermittent fasting. And after I discuss those top 5 mistakes, I'm going to open it up for questions. So as you're watching, think of those questions and I will do my best to try to answer all of them, okay? So with that, I'm going to start with the very first mistake that I've noticed just from lots of emails that I'm getting from viewers of the show, is people's idea of the word fasting. I think fasting means different things to different people. I think fasting to some people means going vegan. They think if they're going vegan, they're not eating dairy, they're not eating meat or cheese, that means that they are fasting. What we are talking about is a complete fast, which means 0 calories, which means no food at all, even healthy food. So just to give you a visual so that you'll remember after you watch this program, you see this cherry tomato, this beautiful cherry tomato, this will break your fast, okay? You might think, seriously? Yeah, this will break your fast because, there's a little bit of sugar in tomato. It's entering your system. It's raising a bit of insulin. And when you raise your insulin, that breaks your fast. So this is really about managing your sugars more than managing your calories. So for example, I've gotten an email saying, I like to start my day with a bowl of oatmeal and dried fruit and nuts. Is that part of my fasting? I know cherry tomatoes are very hard to resist. What's up, gummy dog? So if you're eating oatmeal with fruits and berries and all that good stuff, that is so going to break your fast. First, because dried fruit is full of sugar, much more so than fresh fruit. And hi, Khadija. And so you don't want that to derail the progress that you've made. I'm not saying you can't eat oatmeal, eat it, just eat it a little bit later. What I'm saying with intermittent fasting is to push your breakfast and your lunch later on in the day and eat all of your food in a smaller window. That's all that means. I'm not saying you can't eat your favorite foods. I'm just saying if you want to see weight loss, you have to fast the body for a very long time so that the body gets to use that fat storage for energy. The only way the body will use that fat storage for energy is if you're fasted, because that's why sometimes people eat so healthy throughout the day and they eat very little calories. And in the beginning, they're really enthusiastic about it. They're like, oh, I'm losing some weight. This is awesome. And then they're feeling lousy. They're feeling fatigued. They want to, I will tell you in a second, Procrastinator Cook wants to know what the benefits of intermittent fasting are. If you guys can just save the questions till the end of what I'm telling you about the mistakes, then I'm totally going to answer all of your questions. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep stopping. And I have a terrible memory. And once I get derailed, I'm like, what was I talking about? Anyway, so just to let you know, that fasting means 0 calories. Now, the second mistake that people make is they think intermittent fasting is about managing calories. It is not about managing calories. It is about managing insulin. So this is a whole new way of looking at food. Okay, so when you're looking at food, it's not really about calories in, calories out, which is what we've been taught forever. They're like, okay, if you eat this certain amount of calories, you're going to lose weight. But if you eat more than this kind of calories, then you're going to gain weight. But it's really not about that. It's really about insulin spikes. The more you spike your insulin, the more you put on pounds. The less you spike your insulin, the less you put on pounds. So when you're fasting, your insulin levels are gone. So you're not storing fat, you're actually increasing your human growth hormone, which is going to burn more calories. You're going to increase your metabolism by intermittent fasting. Isn't that nuts? People have always said, oh, if you starve, your metabolism is going to go down, your body's going to go into starvation mode, and you're going to put on weight. It's the exact opposite. Your body's going to raise the human growth hormone level, which is the fat burning hormone, and as long as you keep those insulin levels down, you will lose the weight. And this actually leads me to the next mistake that people make. Mistake number 3 is that people think when they're intermittent fasting that they should eat a super low fat diet, okay? The egg whites, the chicken breast, the non-fat yogurt, the non-fat everything. It's a kind of a miserable way to live. And the funny thing about insulin is it's not raised from fat, it's raised from sugar, which means that if you eat good fats, your insulin will not go up. And you'll actually lose weight by eating good fats. Now remember, I said good fats. I don't mean like donuts and cake and cookies. Those have bad fats. Awesome, Justin, I agree. It's really about eating good fats. Good fats. So when I eat chicken, I eat the chicken thighs or the drumsticks. I eat turkey thighs. I don't eat the breast. I eat the whole egg, not just the egg white. Forget egg whites. I mean, how pitiful are egg whites? They taste nasty anyway. In my opinion, it just is a sad existence to just be eating a bunch of white. And the funny thing is, egg whites actually raise insulin more than if you eat the whole egg with the yolk. If you eat the egg with the yolk, your insulin does not spike nearly as high as if you eat the egg white. Now, if you have a ridiculously high amount of cholesterol, that's another story. You might want to start with the egg whites, and then as you lose weight and reduce your cholesterol, you could introduce egg yolks back into your diet. But I'm saying eat a good fat diet. Eat the avocados, eat the olives, use avocado oil, coconut oil in your cooking. This has many benefits. First, it'll give you great hair, right? It'll give you nice, smooth skin. You won't be all wrinkly. Like I've seen some vegans that eat a zero fat diet and they're aging rather quickly, even though they're eating really healthy food. You want to have that glow in your skin, the healthy hair. It'll give you energy. Fat will give you energy, and it will keep you fuller longer. So that way, when you're intermittent fasting and it's time for you to feast and you're eating all these yummy fats, you know, I love yummy fats. Javier said, why not chicken breast? Chicken breast is fine, but you're not gonna stay as full. I'm not saying if you like chicken breast, eat chicken breast, but I recommend mixing a fat with the chicken breast. So for example, if you like chicken breast on your salad, add some avocado to your salad, add some olives to your salad, add some good fat so that you'll stay fuller longer. What happens is if people just eat chicken breast with a bunch of lettuce or just vegetables only, they're not gonna stay fuller longer, and our body needs the healthy fats. Just eat it with the skin. Yeah, that's an idea. I mean, you could eat chicken skin too if that's your thing and you like it. The important thing is if you are going to eat chicken with the skin and healthy fats, then just scale back on the carbs a little. So don't go crazy with the white starchy carbs. I'm talking about like the white rice, bread, and stuff like that. Keep it real with whole grains like quinoa and barley and that kind of thing in small portions, and you'll be good to go. I still eat carbs. I like to eat sweet potatoes. I eat brown rice. I eat my toast. And I don't eat 2 pieces of toast. I'll eat 1 piece of whole grain toast or Ezekiel bread or that kind of thing. But I'm not saying scale out all your carbs, just eat good carbs with the healthy fats, and then you'll stay fuller longer. I talked about 3 things. So the fourth mistake that people make on intermittent fasting is they're looking at their watch all the time and they're like, okay, so I'm in my fasting window, my feasting window, and I'm really enjoying this food, and I just better eat as much as I can because I know I'm not going to eat for the next 16 to 20 hours. So let me just kill it. I'm just going to eat till I'm ridiculously full. And so they eat and they eat and they binge, and they're eating even when they're not hungry. that's not good either, because if you're eating when you're not hungry, you're sending your body mixed signals, you're expanding your stomach, you're going to feel uncomfortable, and weight loss will stall. It won't be as quick. You just want to eat till you're full, and your body will get used to it. And if your body is hungry during your fasting period, that's okay, because hunger is when your body's burning fat. You need to look at hunger signals as something good, not something bad. When you're hungry, you're more in tune with your body, you're more in tune with your body's hunger signals, and you will know when you're feasting what food really tastes like. Because after you've been fasting for that long and you start eating again, you're like, man, this is the best tomato I've ever had in my life. That is the best chicken I've ever had. Like, food tastes 10 times better after you've been fasting, and you can enjoy it that much more. But please don't like stuff yourself until you're uncomfortably full as you end your fasting window, because you're afraid that, you know, you're not going to get food again. Like I said, there are people that are fasting. Were you like that today? Yeah, that's not a healthy thing to do. So what you want to do is just eat until you're full. Tell yourself, okay, I'm going to be fasting pretty soon. And as I'm fasting, I'm going to keep myself full by drinking lots of water, drinking lots of bubbly water, mineral water, and all that good stuff. And I recommend, if you really want to end your fasting window on a good note, because you want to make sure you're getting the maximum amount of nutrition, I suggest supplementing with like magnesium and potassium in particular. So if you want to take the pills, take the pills. I like to take this. It's called Organic Greens. It's by Antler Farms. It has, it's just a green powder, right? And I mix it with lemon juice, and I'll drink it like in the middle of meals or at the end of my fast. And that will ensure that I'm getting plant-based minerals like magnesium and potassium. So then I know that I'm not going to get dizzy. So that's a great tool. So tools for me are black coffee to get me through the morning, water, of course, tons and tons of water. So here, I've been doing 24 fasts for about a month. Should I aim to start fasting for a longer period? You know, if you can, I suggest do it. But if you're happy with that and you're seeing the results that you want, I say that's great too. I think people, for the most part, have been seeing dramatic weight loss and incredible benefits from the 24 lifestyle. I tend to practice 24 a couple of times a week, and I feel fantastic. And sometimes when I've fasted 20 hours and I'm in that kind of fat burning mode and I have a lot of energy and I'm feeling good, I'm like, why not push it more? See what happens. I mean, it really depends on how you feel and what your goals are. If you've achieved your weight loss goals and you're feeling good and you have a lot of energy, I think 24 is great. But if you want to lose that much more weight, push that fasting window more and you'll see more benefits. And you'll see more benefits that aren't just about weight loss. You'll have lower blood pressure, lower cholesterol. If you have any kind of disease, whether it's an ulcer or an autoimmune disease, you might see improvements. Fasting is so awesome that you don't even really need to take probiotics. It balances your gut health because it allows your stomach to do its job in the downtime. So that's why I love fasting, for a multitude of reasons, not just for weight loss. And my number 5 mistake that I think people make is, I got so much question on plate. Yes, start intermittent fasting, Javier. I think you should. Now, people think they can't work out while they're fasted. That's not true. As a matter of fact, if you work out while you're fasted, you're going to see unbelievable results. So I've gotten a lot of emails from women, especially, who are, after childbirth. They're like, I got this kind of pooch, this lower belly pooch, and it's been there for years and years, and I want to get rid of it, and I don't know how. I suggest you fast and work out and do cardio when you're fasting. There have actually been medical studies where they found that people that do cardio in a fasted state actually have increased blood flow in the abdominal region, leading to more fat burning in the abdominal region. So if you want to obliterate belly fat, I suggest you fast, and then in the morning when you wake up, if you have the energy, go for a run, go for a walk, do some HIIT training, some high intensity interval training, some sprints, bike, whatever it is, swimming, whatever it is that makes you happy and you know that you can stay consistent on it for a daily basis, I suggest you do that. So I have covered the five top mistakes, and I'm going to start looking at your questions. I started on the 20. Ooh, I missed that. Darn it. I wish I could see. Let's see if I could super chat. Okay. If you wouldn't mind sending me that question one more time, because it kind of disappeared and I don't want to mess this up. So I think whether you want to do the 16-8 protocol or the 14-10 protocol, I think if you're just starting, you should maybe start trying to fast, take baby steps. So start with 12-hour fast and see how that feels. 12 hours is very, very manageable. I mean, it's just like, okay, if you end your fast at 8, then you can start just 12 hours later. You love how you feel when you fast. Yeah, totally, Nika, I agree. So when I'm fasting, I have the most energy that I've ever had, to the point where it's really hard to even wind down when I'm sleeping. Do I drink Bulletproof coffee? So for those that are unfamiliar, Bulletproof coffee is a coffee concoction that involves either butter and coconut oil with the coffee, and they drink that first thing in the morning. The reason why people mix the butter or coconut oil and they do that instead of creamer in their coffee, for example, is because, like I said before, fat is good for lowering insulin. It doesn't spike insulin. So they figure, okay, so since fat doesn't spike insulin, let me add this fat to my coffee. I personally do not drink Bulletproof coffee because I don't like the flavor, and I don't want to derail any progress that I've made while I'm fasting. Because even though fat does not increase insulin, there's still some digestive processes that are going on in your body, and I don't know how my body's going to react. I just feel like I want to let my body do its thing with like no nutrition, so that it could just totally go to my fat reserves. Instead of using the fat that I just drank, I would rather use my fat reserves to propel my energy for my workout. And sometimes I do like 2 workouts before I even break my fast. So like I'll work out at 6 a.m., then I'll work out again. Okay, here we go. I recently started since June, okay, the 16-8 when I was on and off, but I'm being more consistent, even started training fat. That's awesome. If you can train fasted, I think that's great. And does sleeping time count? Hell yes. So some people are like, what are you talking about? Fasting 16 hours a day? Are you crazy? Like, you mean you're fasting the entire day and then you're like eating at night? No, I mean, sleeping counts as your fasting. That's the cool part about it. So when you're sleeping, let's say you sleep 8 hours, that's already half. If you go do a 16-hour fast, that's it. Like half of it's gone through sleeping. Any advice on what I can eat for protein on a 21-day raw diet other than cashews? Hey, what's up? A 21-day raw diet. So when you say raw diet, I'm thinking, does this have to do with like you're only eating raw vegetables or raw fruits and nuts? I mean, I think what some people do is they do what's called a modified fast, where they will eat like 400 or 500 calories a day, and then they'll fast for 24 hours, and then they'll eat maybe 400 or 500 calories. I think, yeah, it's a rock nuke. Okay, so like if you eat cashews, you could eat macadamia nuts. I think you could eat pretty much any kind of nut, but the nut that increases insulin the least are pecans. So pecans are the most effective for not spiking your insulin, if that's what you want to do for maximum. Okay, if you're fasting and not losing weight. If you're fasting and not losing weight, do not despair, because that's your body basically healing what's on the inside. A lot of us have hormonal issues. Some people have insulin resistant issue, which is a precursor to diabetes. Awesome. Okay, so if you have the precursor to diabetes, you may be feeling these things. Are you sleepy after you eat, especially midday? Do you feel fatigue? Do you crave carbs all day? Those are kind of insulin resistant signs that show that you might be getting diabetes down the road. And so if you have those kinds of symptoms, then keep fasting, because the longer you fast, the more you'll heal your body and the less insulin resistant you will be. It took me 2 solid months of intermittent fasting to lose weight, and I'm a fitness instructor. So I'm thinking I had some insulin resistance that was from my family, because a lot of my family are diabetic. Yes, 16-8 means yes. 16-8 means 16 hours fasting, 8 hours eating, okay? So that's like the most popular protocol, fasting for 16 hours, eating for 8 hours. When you see 24, 20 hours of fasting, 4 hours of eating. I tend to do best when I'm between 4 hours and 5 hours of eating. That's when I do the best. And when you eat, this is something I didn't get to address last time, and it's so important. Your fat stores hold a lot of your toxins, okay? So if you eat MSG, if you eat GMO foods, all of those toxic foods on the market, I'm talking about like, the corn chips, the potato chips that have MSG, and all of that. I'll get to your question in a second, procrastinator cook. If you eat those junky foods during your feasting window, guess where the toxins in that food is gonna go? It's gonna go in your fat stores. That's part of the fat's purpose, is to store that toxic food. So if you don't drink a ton of water to flush it out, then when you're intermittent fasting, your fat cells are going to release the toxins into your body. Thank you, Call for an Uprising. You totally rock. So you don't want those toxins in your body, right? You've got those toxins in your fat cells. You're not drinking water. You're eating bad food. It's going to release toxins into your body when you're fasting. So make sure you chug a lot of water, okay? Let's talk about calories in your feasting window. If you are feasting, a lot of people don't even count calories. To be honest, I've kind of let go of counting calories. I am a very intuitive eater. I've been sort of counting my macros for so long that I kind of can eyeball things and know what I need to eat. So, if you really are a calorie counter, it really depends on if you're male or female and your activity level. I would say if you are a sedentary person and you're female, 1,200 calories. If you're a male and you're very active, that could go up to 2,000 calories. It really depends on your energy level. I just say eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full. And intermittent fasting will actually make you more attuned to your body's signals. That's the beautiful part of this lifestyle, is that you're really going to be in tune with when you're hungry and when you're full more than ever before, and your cravings will diminish, because when you're in a fasted state, you're not going to be craving those carbs that you used to. So you're not going to be lashing out trying to get food. Now there are some ups and downs. So there are some days where I'm like hungry the whole feasting window, and I just like want to eat everything in sight. And then there are other times where I'm like, I'm really not that hungry. I know I'm supposed to be feasting right now, but I'm really not that hungry. So I'm just going to start with a big fat salad. And that's another one of my tips, is when you are in your feasting window, I really recommend starting with a big fat salad and load it up with vegetables, because your feasting window is smaller, you don't want to miss out on that nutrition. So load it up with every color imaginable. I'm always an advocate of the more color vegetables you eat, the better for your skin and your hair. People always ask me, what kind of skincare do I use? I'm not really big on spending a ton on cosmetics, because I feel like your skin shows what's going on the inside, okay? So you want to make sure that your insides are healthy. When your insides are healthy, your skin will look healthy. If you're eating bad foods, if you're eating a ton of GMOs and MSG and high fructose corn syrup and trans fats, it's going to show, the first thing it's going to show is on your skin. Either it's going to be dragging, dark circles, wrinkles, all that stuff. And no matter how many creams, these cream companies love selling you $500 creams. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being on my channel. So you don't want to, why spend $500 on cream when you could just like fix a problem by eating a killer salad? Thank you so much. You are so kind. A Call for an Uprising. What a great channel you have yourself, actually. I love his channel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be releasing a recipe pretty soon on a hot sweet breakfast. Can you guess what it is? It's pancakes. So usually when you go for Sunday brunch and you're eating pancakes with your friends and you're just like feeling like crap after, right? You feel dizzy. You're just like, what the heck did I just eat? It was so enjoyable. I love putting all that syrup and the blueberries, the whipped cream and the butter, and damn, that was good. But then you feel like hell. Like for me, I would feel like hell for the next 8 hours. I hate feeling like that. I want energy, especially on the weekend when I want to be out and active doing my thing. So I developed a killer pancake recipe that I'm going to be sharing with you guys pretty soon. On how that will keep you full, that will not elevate your insulin level, that will not really enhance, like kick up your glycemic level, so that you can, yes, Justin said the fasted state is bliss. I know a lot of you people might think, what are these people talking about? These intermittent fasters keep talking about how fasting is bliss. It really is bliss. I can't, that's why people have been fasting with their religions for centuries. Because when you're in a fasted state, you almost have this like sort of spiritual zen going on where you just feel calm. You have this great state of mind. And it's like, I'm not hangry. I don't get angry much anymore. I used to have like a temper when things didn't go my way. Now I'm just like, whatever, it's fine. It's all good. It just kind of like relaxes you, when you think about it, Jesus fasted for 40 days. There are some people that have fasted for 40 days. And why did he do that? Well, he did it because he wanted to have that pure spiritual time to think and meditate and not have distractions. I make my soup, blah, 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 blah. I'm not trying to use, great. Yeah, a gal just said that she doesn't use processed sugar. And dates are great because, it's very sweet, but I would take it easy on dates because too much dates can spike insulin a little bit too much, and I don't recommend dates for diabetics. Like my dad is a diabetic, and the poor guy loves dates, and I'm like, oh man, Dad, we got to figure out. I'd rather he eat dark chocolate than dates because dark chocolate doesn't have that much sugar compared to dates, believe it or not. So like, I don't really have qualms about putting dark chocolate in my pancakes because I know it's not going to elevate my glycemic index the way dates or honey or maple syrup will. So going back to my first point, fasting means 0 calories, no honey in your tea, no cream in your coffee, no oatmeal, nothing. But I do love dark. Yeah, if you're hypoglycemic and you eat dark chocolate, I think you should be fine. I don't think that you should experience any like massive swings in sugars. So I'm going to be closing this pretty soon unless any of you have any more questions. It's like I'm branching into this. This is something that I've always had in my head for a long time. I've always wanted to share my nutritional information, but I've always had this cooking show and I was a journalist. So I was reporting on all kinds of topics. So I felt like, well, I don't want to pigeonhole myself to just cooking when I have all this stuff I'd like to share with the world and help people. So let me know in the comments if this is something you want me to keep going. I've kept it going just because I keep getting continuous questions and feedback, and I don't want to let people down. I don't want to leave people high and dry with all these questions. Thank you. I hope so. So, I've even thought of like expanding another channel just to cover politics. But if I cover politics, maybe I'll lose a lot of friends. I don't know, because my politics are a little bit unconventional. I like to kind of say it like it is, not the way mainstream media does. I really miss journalism a lot, guys. I can't even tell you I miss being. Is Truvia okay? Yes, Truvia is fabulous. Truvia is great. Also, any kind of stevia. There's one in Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's sells like an organic stevia drops. And a little bit goes a long way. It's like this big, comes in a dropper, and you could just drop a little bit in your coffee, and a little bit goes a long way. And it's organic, which is great. Truvia is not organic, but it can't do harm. Stevia doesn't raise the glycemic index the way other sugars do, right? So some people think, oh, honey's good for you. Truvia is a bit bitter. What can I do about that? I just say use a little bit less. Or try alternative like stevia drops instead of the powdered stevia. I found like a little bit of the stevia drop go a long way in sweetening your food without that bitter aftertaste, but maybe that's just me. There's no left, no right. Yes, amen to call for an uprising. Yeah, my politics are, there's no left. Absolutely, there's no left and there's no right. We're all controlled by one body of people that want us to do what they want. And you know what? The people in power don't want us to do intermittent fasting. Oh, you got your Antler Farms, woohoo! I wish I could do like a cheers to you with the organic greens. You guys, maybe we should like do mutual green juice drinking next time. This stuff is so awesome. This stuff gives me crazy energy and it actually is an appetite suppressant. So I drink this with lemon juice in between meals, and sometimes I don't even want to eat my second meal because I'm so like full. What happens is when your body's maxed out on nutrition, you don't crave food as much because your body's getting the needed nutrition. When your body's nutrition depleted, you're always going to be hungry, even if you eat like thousands of calories. So anyways, yes, we need to fight against, Tony Robbins. Oh, I just missed Tony Robbins. If you guys don't have the organic greens, this is the Antler Farms brand. The reason why I like it is because it's made in New Zealand. Unfortunately, a lot of the industrial farming here in the United States, they use a ton of pesticides. They grow them in greenhouses where they get fungus. It's really nasty. I've done a lot of research on it, and I know over there in New Zealand, their practices are better in the meat industry and in the agriculture industry, so much so that I kind of want to move there. So if you guys, any of you are from New Zealand, I would love to pick your brain on what it's like to live there, because I'd love to be a clean eating person and take part in their like clean vegetables. So yeah. Snacking companies are not going to like anything I have to say today, because they want you to keep saying, oh, you have to eat every 2 hours. Snack. Why don't you snack? Why don't you snack? Why don't you snack? Eat this for a snack. Use this for energy. Blah, blah, blah. Energy, you've got it, baby. You've got it on your body right now. Everybody has some fat stores on them, unless you're like an avid weight trainer that's like lifting crazy amounts of weights and you have 5% body fat. But if you've got fat on your body, you've got nature's energy. And use it, and it's free. It's free. How cool is that? You know, it doesn't cost a dime. So on that note, I just want to thank you all for joining me. Again, leave me a comment if this is something you want to see on a regular basis. You know, I have so many ideas in my head, like how to handle the holidays while intermittent fasting, how to handle parties while intermittent fasting, what kind of exercises do I do to maximize fat burning, how you handle social situations with other people that think you're a whack job for intermittent fasting. You know, you're going to get all kinds of, people are going to discourage you. They're going to call you crazy. They're going to say you are insane, you're going to die. But when you come back at them and your skin's looking fab and your hair's looking great and you have a lot of energy, more energy than they do, and you're losing weight, they're going to be like, what's going on here? There's something to this intermittent fasting. And you can be, educate other people and keep this trend going, because, General Mills, Kellogg's, and all of these companies, they don't like intermittent fasting. And I like to be a rebel, because I'm kind of like, I like it like that. When I'm fasting and not losing weight, I give up. Afterwards, I have problems with binge eating. Okay, this is a beautiful thing. Do you know why that's happening to you? Because in the traditional sense, when people always say, eat less and exercise more, guys, my battery's gonna die soon. Eat less and exercise more. What happens is the body, if you're eating all day long and you're eating very little, the body's gonna hold on to all of your fat. It's gonna go into starvation mode, and you're gonna just freak out. You're gonna be fatigued, you're gonna be starving, and you're gonna binge. With intermittent fasting, it's the exact opposite. I'm telling you to feast in that feasting window. So whether it's an 8-hour window or a 6-hour window, don't skimp corners. Don't just live on lettuce alone. Eat well, eat healthy fats, eat big meals, big satisfying meals. Go eat a steak, whatever it is that makes you happy, eat a nice big meal. Don't eat these tiny little meals throughout the day. And then you will see that your urge to binge decreases dramatically. So I would love it's been like a couple of weeks since I put out my first video, and I know a lot of you have started this lifestyle. If you've had some success stories, leave them below, because I'm always encouraged by people that are doing well. And if you are struggling with challenges, let me know as well. But I'm letting you know that it took me 2 solid months to let go of that insulin resistance and be on this path of just maximum fat burning. Okay, guys? So with that, I'm just gonna let you go because my battery's dying. I should have charged my phone. What's wrong with me? Been running around a lot today and using my phone. So I just want to let you know I appreciate all of you. I'm going to be back at you with a pancake video really soon. If you like pancakes, and until next time, صحتين مع سلامة, peace, and happy fasting and happy feasting.